Welcome back, everybody, to Satisfactory 1.0. My name is Thomas, and this is episode number 13. In today's episode, we are going to be automating our iron plates, rods, and screws. We've dismantled the old iron factory, got it off the hot sand, and now we need to rebuild it on the foundation. Before we get started, I did move the biomass generator factory down here on the floor. It was way up here, but now it's down here. And if we take a look at this, one of the viewers had mentioned this layout here where I have a merger combining the biomass together onto one conveyor belt, and then I split them two different directions so they come out evenly on both sides of the belt. This way it feeds all of the biomass generators equally. Before, I did not split this. I just went one conveyor belt down here to feed them all. And so if one was emptied here, this side would have power and the other side wouldn't. With this build, it is now combined and then split off to feed all of them, so that this will run always at 100%. So I really appreciate this tip. I'll also be getting into some other things some viewers had mentioned. If there's time in today's episode, it's more about editing some other ratios and making it a bit more efficient. But with that said, let's get into the build for the iron factory here. And I think you guys seen I did quite a bit off screen. I also moved the hub off the sand, and also all the special buildings. So everything is finally off the sand and on the concrete foundation. So yeah, the factory is slowly progressing and becoming organized. It's always one step at a time, little small chunks at a time, and it's all will finally come together and hopefully we'll beat the game. Anyways, let's get into this build here. We need to automate some of these basic components here before we advance further into more complex items. So we are dealing with 60 iron ore per minute. So I need to get the iron ore up here first. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to place this right here. And I'm going to place a conveyor lift on the conveyor hole, and then I'm going to place a conveyor splitter, I think, like this. Okay, and so then now we can push the iron ore this direction into the smelters. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to work. So let's first work on getting the iron ore up here. And here is the smelter. I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and delete this, and delete that. And yeah, there we have it. There's the conveyor. And so we need to somehow get it up there. And I need to actually place the ladder back up there. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so it is on this foundation right here. So I am going to bring down the conveyor lift like this. Okay, now I'm going to place a conveyor lift floor hole here and a conveyor lift right here. That will be the iron ore coming up and into that lift and then up to the surface. Okay, and then that's where we need to go, so I'm going to do something like this. And already we have an issue, and that is with the sand right here. So there's going to be a little bit of clipping, but it's going to be hidden. So I hope you guys are all right with that. As long as it's hidden, you know, a little clipping into the sand is all right. It's not too egregious. So what I'm going to do is place a conveyor wall right there. And then our wall goes up. Oops. Like that. Okay. And that goes down. Yeah, we just got to do all this. Create some supports. Can't get carried away with this right now. That's not the focus of today's episode. Okay, we're already out of concrete. So let's head back to the surface. And I'm actually going to grab some of this concrete back because I need it for power poles. Okay, and then, yeah, let's head back up and begin with the build. I'm going to place a ladder here. Okay, 60 iron ore per minute we're dealing with. So I'm going to place a splitter. How about... let's just start right here. So we're going to take 30... We'll take 30 of the iron ore into this splitter. And then we'll place it through the smelter. Like that. Okay, and we're going to first automate the iron plates. And 30 iron ore will give me 30 iron ore per minute will give me 20 iron plates per minute. I believe that's the ratio. So I'm going to place the constructor right here. In fact, I'm going to move this smelter back one tile. Like that. Okay, so in goes the iron ore into the constructor. So let's set this up. So that's going to be iron plates. Yep, 30 iron ingots for every 20 iron plates. And 30 iron ore for every 30 iron ingot. Cool. So, wow, the iron plates are done. Now it's time to work with the rods, and then we can get the screws. Those are a bit more complicated, but we're still dealing with really basic items here. Remember, we do have to do the copper, but once we're done with the copper, things are going to get a bit more spicier and difficult moving forward. It's not going to get easier, it's going to get harder and longer to make the builds. So I'm just enjoying the easy times right now. Okay, and I'm going to place this guy... Actually, let's go with... Yeah, I think that's a center there. Okay, now let's bring in the conveyor belt for the other 30 iron ore. And so here is where we have to split it off, the iron ore, to make the rods and the screws. Yep, that's not it. That's not centered. So let's readjust that. Like that. Okay. So this is going to be the screws. This is going to be... No, this is going to be the rods, and this is going to be the screws. Yeah, like that. Cool. So the iron ore goes in there, and in there. And iron rods go into the screws. Okay. So let's work with the ratio here. We got 30 iron ore per minute coming in and 30 ingots per minute coming out. 15 of those are going into the rods, giving me 15 rods per minute. And another 15 are coming in here to give me 15 iron rods. Okay, so 15 plus 15 is 30. And we got 30 right here. Okay, so this 15 is going to go into the screws, but the screws only need 10 iron rods. So this means we're left with 5 iron rods per minute, which is interesting. So what are we going to do with those 5 iron rods? Well, I don't know. I had to think about this. Well, I could underclock this smelter, but then we are left with some extra iron ore. Well, then I can underclock the iron ore if I really want to do this. Or I can build another constructor. So I could be like, hey, let's do this. Actually, because this is the iron rods, and we need 2 more for the screws. So I think that's right. And then we place another one, a couple more constructors here. And I'm going to bring some ladders over here so I can get a different perspective. Oops, out of the rods. So I'll grab that ladder, and that will give me more rods, and I can go a bit higher to see what I'm doing. I feel like that's not centered. I think it was, though. Okay, so the 15 iron rods go into here, and then this will back up potentially, and then this will go in there. Okay, so let's take a look at this. And let's see if I can problem solve my way through this. So 15 iron rods. Okay. So this could be screws. And this could be screws. Okay, well, what if I do 15 divided by 2? That would give me 7.5. So I could say, hey, I want 7.5 iron rods per minute. I'm not sure what that is in percentage, though. So there it is. That's 75%. Okay, yeah, cool. So I'll do 75% there, and 75% here. And that should work. 7.5 plus 7.5 is 15 iron rods. And then that will give me 30 plus 30, 60 screws. So now we're not wasting any of our product here. So let me take a look at this layout here. I'm not sure if I'm fully satisfied with this. I would like maybe for this constructor to be over here. So I can save on some foundation. So what if I did that? And then I came in like this. Okay. And then I say, hey, 7.5, that's 75%. 75%, there we go. Oops. And now we need to go get some more concrete. So let's take a break from our work and get a little exercise by heading over there, grabbing some more concrete. And check out the base. It's looking pretty amazing. It's all coming together. And it's going to grow and grow and become very, very vast and large and very intricate with trains and drones and all kinds of things. It's going to get wild over here. A very organized chaos, let's say that. And wow, almost 1,000 concrete at our disposal, all because we set up this production in yesterday's episode, and it's really paying off. It's a really good strategy, and I'm glad I did it. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up this build and put an end for today's episode. And then in the next one, we'll do the copper build, and then from there, we're going to probably do the rotors or the frames. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so let's bring the foundation out like this. Okay, and then let's go ahead and add our asphalt. And then our full factory is up. Okay, and then I actually want to come over here now. One day we're going to have a jetpack, the electric jetpack, and we'll no longer have to use ladders. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and add a merger towards the end of this build. And I want the green arrow to come to the left like that. Okay, so let's get all of the 60 screws out of the constructors onto this conveyor belt. All right, so we have 30 screws there, or 60 screws. We have 15 iron rods and 20 iron plates. So let's bring this out like this. Let's bring this out like this. And we will create this really cool little conveyor belt line here. Oh, this is turning out to be really awesome. Now we get the pleasure of storing all this. So again, I think we'd have to come out another foundation. And again, let's customize this. And then factory zone. Cool. All right. And then I think we can just add our storage, maybe like this. What do you guys think? Does that look pretty good? I hope you like it. Is it centered? It is. It's centered. Yeah, it has to be pixel perfect. Okay. Now let's route in our product. That is super cool. I like it. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add in our industrial rail, of course. Uh-oh, we're missing iron rods, so we need to get producing this material. But we can't do that yet until we add our power poles in. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's add in the power pole, connect the power up, fire this little factory up, and see how it goes. Oh no, power poles. iron rods. I really like this. I'm really thankful for the viewer that told me about adding the merger and splitters like this. That's just genius. Yep. You know, I like to be right, but sometimes I'm wrong and you guys are right. And so I get humbled a bit. I get the humble pie. It seems like this the case all the time. That's all right. That is all right. I'm gonna go ahead and use the crafting bench over here. And let's turn these iron rods into, or the iron ingots into some iron rods. Okay, we have 9 minutes left in today's episode, so it should be plenty enough to get this factory fired up and running. Okay, let's turn those into some iron rods. I thought we were over with the handcrafting. I guess not. Alright, and how much are the power poles? Okay, 1 iron rod, so pretty cheap. Alright, so again, I like to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Connect the power line to the power poles, and then power pole to the smelters. And let's feed this iron ore from our inventory into the smelter. Okay, now let's carry the power pole from here, and I like to go 1, 2, 3. All right, let me get a different view here. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, power pole to the constructor. All right, now let's do the other constructors. Does that have 5? Oh, that has 4 on there already. Oh my goodness. All right, so we can go from here. Again, we'll go from here. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And rinse and repeat. Okay, I think that is it. Let's just check the recipes here. Screws. Okay, this is the 15 iron rods. This is the 15 iron rods, and then this is the iron plates. Yep, cool. And this is all set, so let's go ahead and connect the power. Okay, power is connected. Now let's connect power to the miner. So we'll bring that here just for now. I'll beautify this off screen, and there we go. Now we have power to the miner. And so check it out. We are going to be producing 60 iron ore per minute. Actually, this needs to start from like that. A little clipping there. Yeah, like that. Okay. Hurry up, hurry up. We got 5 minutes left in today's episode, and I want to make sure that this is going to work as a factory. Gosh, I love looking at the biomass generator factory. I mean, it looks so awesome. Oh, this game, when it goes in your way, it's a lot of fun. Okay. So check it out. There are the 60 screws per minute on a 60 a minute conveyor belt. There are the iron rods, that's 15 per minute. And then here come the 20 a minute iron plates. Oh, it's so beautiful. And we can jump down here and grab screws, and we can grab our rods, and we can grab our iron plates. Let's check it out. This is looking good. 100%. That's what I'm looking for here is 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. And let's check the screws. 100%. And 100%. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have effectively, perfectly automated the iron rods, screws, and plates. And so, yeah, we no longer have to build this factory again. We will in more complex builds, of course, when they demand these products. But as far as this particular one, this is it. Awesome. All right, well, that is the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. And in the next episode, we're going to do the same thing, but for copper. So we'll do the copper wire, copper cables, and the copper sheets. I know they're not called copper cables, they're just called cable, but it is made by copper wire. Yeah, anyways, everybody, have a wonderful day there, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.